All right, hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another video where we're going to talk about a deck that I really love. It's very aggressive, and it either goes really fast or you lose very fast. You either win really fast or lose very fast. It's green heavy gacha, what I'm calling that. It's essentially green gacha with heavy Leomon as the main card that you definitely want to get out because it's so good that just putting it out there so fast in the game, like it's really gonna secure you the game or not. And so there's a couple of key cards that we're going to talk about. First of all, we run four of the Koromon that reveals the top card from your deck, and you may either place it at the bottom or put it back on top. That one, this is a very key Digi Egg because remember, you're trying to abuse a couple of different abilities from very specific cards here. It is that you're going to reveal three cards from the top of your deck and Digivolve into a green level 6 for free. That's eventually what you want to do with this deck. And Koromon can take a peek at the top card. If it's a level 6, you can just put it back and you guarantee yourself that you Digivolve into that using that mechanic. Or if it's not, you can improve your chances by putting that card that's not a level 6 to the bottom of the deck and then using the ability to check the next three cards with that. So this card is actually pretty important to improve your probability of seeing a level 6 on top of your deck. Koromon does a lot of work with Green Gacha. We also run four of Kakuamon, which security check +1. Yes, it digivolves for one on top of your baby, but honestly, that's not a bad thing. Security +1 is actually super cracked. Um, as an inherited, that means that everything that's checking your opponent is going to get two checks at it. This is the ideal card in the stack because Heavy Leomon with two checks unsuspending is going to do a lot of damage to your opponent. So paying that one memory may seem like a lot, but it's actually worth it. It's very much worth it. If this was zero, you would definitely run this card up for many decks, no problem. It's really good. It's really strong, stronger than you think. We run three Kunemon Searcher on play. You may suspend this card to look at the top three cards and pick up a green card among them. This card is very flexible in this deck. You definitely need a rookie to be able to Digivolve with, which it can do that job. And you also need to search for the right pieces. If you don't get the right pieces with this deck, you're gonna be screwed. So Kunemon is very flexible in this deck. I would even probably, maybe I should be running it at 4 if I'm being honest. So his ability, of course, is to suspend, reveal three cards, and you're looking for the pieces that you may be missing. Maybe you're missing the level 5, maybe you're missing the Tortomon or the level 4 that you need, or maybe you're missing the level 6 that you want to have in your hand and guarantee yourself Digivolving into. Kunemon is key for that. We run two Terries of the starter deck. Inheritable is when suspended, you gain +1. That can make a difference sometimes, and you also, if you just have them out there and you want to put down a tamer like Mimi, which is what we run in this, you can reduce the play cost by 2. Really good. Run Pomomon. There's a lot of playing Digimon by effects in the current meta, but you do have Fortitude, which technically is playing a card by abilities. I would run more of these, except you yourself are kind of sometimes going to be doing playing by effects. That's okay. This is very matchup dependent. You may need it, you may not. And then one Agumon Searcher. If you're looking for a tamer, maybe a Mimi, you just need that. You can on play reveal 4 and look for a tamer. You also get that if you have a tamer in play, your Digimon gains +2,000. There's not a whole lot of DP gain in this deck. Mainly Terriermon and Agumon are doing that for you, and it's not even that much anyway. But here's the Big Daddy card, Tortomon. Probably the most important card in this deck is Tortomon. You have to get this card picked up either with the Kunamon or one of the other cards that we'll talk about later, the option cards. You need to see this in your stack. If you're not aware of it, Tortomon's ability when attacking the inheritable is that when attacking, you may reveal one green Digimon from your hand and place it on top of your deck to have the Digimon get +3,000. So the 3,000 itself is actually good in and of itself, but being able to put a green card from your hand on top of your deck so that you may abuse that ability that I talked about earlier of revealing 3 and Digivolving for free into a level 6, that's the key part here. You have your level 6 in hand, you attack, you use the when attacking, reveal a green card from your hand, you reveal that level 6, place it on top of your deck, and then you use the other when attacking ability to Digivolve into the card you just placed on top for free. That's going to be hopefully a heavy Leomon that you reveal, put it on top, and Digivolve into it with the level 5. This card is super key. You run 4 of, no less, and you pick it up when you can, whenever you are able to. This card is its inheritable is just cracked, and it's the motor of this deck. For Stingmons, if you don't have the Tortomon, you Digivolve for one and just take your chances, right? Stingmon, literally, his ability, his whole job is just because he Digivolves for cheap. No other reason to really run him. He doesn't have the inheritable like this. If there was another card that did this thing, you'd probably use it. Stingmon just Digivolves for one, and that's it. That's what we want. One Metal Kabuterimon. Sometimes you just want to Digivolve for one to keep searching for pieces. Or if you have a Mimi out, you can hybrid for game. Metal Kabuterimon's job is to do that. You definitely want to have... So your stack is probably going to check most of your opponent's security. You need to be able to have that extra attack, either by bringing out a level 3 rookie, or maybe a hybrid per game. That type of thing might end the game for you early. That's all of Metal Kabuterimon's job. I'm going to talk about these two cards simultaneously. Meme Tyrannomon and Jagamon. Both of these cards are the ability that we are trying to abuse. Both of these cards have the when attacking, reveal 3, you may Digivolve into a green level 6 for free without paying the play cost. These are level 5s. So you want Tortomon, you want these cards. These are the cards you're looking for. These are the cards you are looking for, these level 5s. Only difference really between these two is, of course, the name and the fact that Jagamon is 7k versus 5k. I recommend if you have the choice between the two, you pick up Jagamon, just because that 7 versus 5 might make a difference. Sometimes it does, especially with DP reducing cards out there in the meta right now. So yeah, pick up these cards whenever you can. Abuse their ability of Digivolving for free into a level 6. That's the whole point of this deck. That's what Gacha does. Get those Tortomons and that level 5 Jagamon or main Tyrannomon. And then you get to Digivolve into our king of the deck, Heavy Leomon, for free. He normally costs 5, but with Jagamon or main Tyrannomon, you get to go into it for 0. He swings for 13. If you have Tortomon under it, you are swinging for 16. When Digivolving, you can de-Digivolve your opponent or return it to the bottom of the deck. And at the end of the attack, if you're checking for the first time, if your opponent's you may return a 4000 DP or lower Digimon. If they don't, you may unsuspend and swing again. So as long as you've destroyed something on your opponent's side, Heavy Leomon could potentially be wrecking your opponent's security. If you have the correct stack, Kukuamon, Tortomon, of course, one of the level 5s, you have just attacked your opponent, gained 3000 DP, placed this card on top of your security, Digivolve into it, gotten maybe rid of something. Security check +1, you're checking 2 cards at 16k. If there's nothing on the board, you unsuspend, swing again at an additional 2 checks at 16k, maybe even more, because you can use this when attacking multiple times per turn. Heavy Leo destroys your opponent's security, no problem there. But of course, that's not the only level 6 we run. Heavy Leo is the main card, but Dino Rexmon could also be a big card that takes a lot into it. Dino Rexmon Digivolves for 5 as well, and when Digivolving for each tamer your opponent has in play, suspend one of your opponent's Digimon and gain 1 memory. That could potentially help later on if you need it. If your opponent has built a big board and you don't have a Jagamon or main Tyrannomon's ability triggered, maybe that could happen. You could probably go into this if your opponent has enough Digimon and gaining memory. Then if your opponent suspends a 6000 DP or less, that Digimon gets deleted. I also point out that Dino Rexmon is an X antibody. We are gonna have a bit of a backup situation with that ability. So Dino Rexmon, Heavy Leomon, and then 2 Mega Gargo aces. Sometimes you just want to have an ace and keep your opponent from Digivolving. That could be huge. Mega Gargomon ace is really, really good. Blocker gets reboot when Digivolving suspends your opponent. And then it gets to unsuspend. Just like Heavy Leomon, it can attack multiple times. If you have the right stack, you're swinging big time into your opponent for multiple checks. Obviously, its drawback is that it's an ace. If you hit into something that gets rid of it, of course, you could probably potentially pass turn with it. So I built a version of this deck that ran more aces. It's just not as good anymore. Run Rosemon. Often you're going to have the memory to go into Rosemon within the turn and maybe swing per game. We have 3 Mimis. Memory Setter promotes a rookie if you have a level 5, which ideally you do. That's how you go for game. 4 Green Memory Boost. We're just looking for pieces with that Green Memory Boost. 2 Agility Trainings. Similar situation, but you get to Digivolve for free, maybe into your level 5, which always takes 3. 1 HPD, you could probably replace 1 HPD with the agility training if you really want to. 1 security bomb, giant missile, you need to get rid of something, you do it with this card. And 1 X antibody, if you are swinging with a level 5 and you whiff, you don't have the right stack, maybe you have Stingmon under, X antibody can go into Dino Rexmon while attacking. So you check your 3 cards first, nothing there. You still have the X antibody under the stack with the ability to go into Dino Rexmon for free and swing into your opponent. Not for free, I'm sorry, paying the 5, but you're still swinging. You still get to do something. You still get to Dino Rexmon. You're not swinging with just a level 5. The X antibody combo with the level 5 can help there with the X antibody. Yeah, and that's the deck. I don't think it's perfect. I think there's still maybe a couple of things that could be improved. Maybe somewhere over here with the rookies, but for the main part, the level 5s are set in stone. The Tortomon is set in stone. Heavy Leomon, you just gotta run this boy. He's just way too good. Kukulamon, definitely a huge advantage to take care of. But if you have any suggestions for how to improve this deck, please let me know. I would love to try to improve this. This is probably going to be one of the decks that I run a lot in the next few weeks before the next set comes out. But yeah, let me know if you have any changes or anything, suggestions, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.